Right off the bat, I just want to say this is more of a podcast. As an improv, this line on a couple dot jots is the only part I really wrote down. I'll link an article that talks more in depth into the subject, like dates, numbers, all that in the description. I'm talking about this because I've heard the story and told the story so many times that it's frankly annoyed my parents and friends to the point of insanity. And also, before we start off, I'd like to say thank you to the guy who subscribed because of my last video. So just like that guy, don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed, and let's get into it. Blistering cold and harsh voyage. This is what the men of the Polish detachment were faced against. They were formerly POWs from a Siberian gulag, sent there because of the Soviet invasion of their country, and released because of Hitler's choice of forcing the Soviets to take the side of the Allies. They were making their way to Egypt in the spring of 1942, going through the Iranian mountains. But on one of their breaks, they spotted a young child and invited him to sit by the fire. Once close, they noticed something bizarre about the child. He had a small burlap bag, which, after a while, it started moving. Carefully opening it up, they had found a little black snout poking out. It was a bear cub. After discussing with the boy, it turned out that he had found the young bear all by itself in the forest, and a hunter probably killed its parents. After a while, they came to an agreement. They traded a chocolate bar, Swiss Army knife, and a tin of corned beef for the cub. They named him Wvoitek, Polish for smiling warrior. His military career with the artillery battalion starts a little rocky. After being surprised by nearby birds, he went up to the parade square where he ran directly into the sergeant, who he won over in a heartbeat. And even when the major found out about it, well, I believe this will make you smile, he loved the little bear so much that he let him sleep with him in his tent, inside a portable wash basin. And one of the reasons he did this is because he realized the importance of a morale boost Wvoitek offered to the soldiers. He would drink milk out of an old vodka bottle, and most importantly, take marmalade. He would spend most days chasing after oranges the soldiers would use for grenade practice, and wrestle with the men, and it was around this time he started taking cigarettes as a reward, and would swallow the lit ones whole and spit out the rest. Another thing he enjoyed? Alcohol. At one Christmas Eve party, when everybody was really distracted, if you get what I mean, he went and drank all of the remaining wine from the storehouse. The final thing he learned to enjoy from his comrades was the delight of a nice shower, often depleting the whole of the water supply, which actually became useful since, in one instance, an Arab spy had snuck into the camp to plan an attack, while they were in Iraq, I believe. As a reward, he was given an extended shower, sweetmeats, and beer. In exchange, he learned to salute on command. You want to know something else? He wasn't the only bear in the Polish ranks, but the other one was a little bit of a different story. A gift from the Shah of Iran, named Michal, and he was incredibly aggressive and belonging to an infantry battalion. When he and Wvoitek met, it wasn't the prettiest sight according to the author Eileen Orr. As he approached Wvoitek, Michal went into a berserker rage. Within seconds, the animals were enveloping each other in deadly bear hugs, slashing out with their terrifying claws, each trying to rip out each other's throat with his fangs. In the end, Wvoitek won, and Michal was sent to a zoo and traded with a monkey. For some reason. Confusing times. En route from Naples to Egypt, Wvoitek and the gang Trademark had some trouble getting him on the boat because they would only allow soldiers to come on board. Thinking fast, the men decided the only logical thing to do was to make him a soldier, with a service number, rank, and pay book, which is where Corporal Wvoitek is born. On the unit's way to assist the British through Italy, Wvoitek jumped out of the truck and went to go swim at the beach where, unfortunately, two Italian girls were. Obviously running in terror, the men tried calming them by saying, "Girls, don't be afraid, this bear is good!" In 1944, his unit found itself in the Battle of Monte Cassino, where, to the delight of the men, Wvoitek went onto his 2 feet and started helping transporting the shells. It was said that he had done this before, taking the empty or lighter boxes, but at Monte Cassino, he took the full ones. After that day, the unit changed their emblem to Wvoitek carrying an artillery shell. While his compatriots went to training in Scotland, he spent his time in a local village, where he would go to children's parties and barbecues. In 1947, he went to spend his time at the Edinburgh Zoo in London, where his friends would come pay him a visit once in a while. In 1963, he unfortunately died at the age of 22. Part of the reason the soldiers loved him so much is because, like them, he was an orphan. They lost their families and their country, to the Russians and Germans invading them. They had nothing to return to in Poland. The man and the bear bonded because he had nothing left of his home either. I think a quote from one of his fellow soldiers makes it best. In times of great suffering, not just our terrible experiences in the USSR, but also fear of what is happening to our families back home. Where did they live? Would we see them again? Wvoitek the bear provided us with joy and boosted our morale. Why? I don't know. But he was real. He really helped us. Thank you for watching the video. Do one or all of the usual free, and comment what video you want to see next. Maybe I'll do one on Behead. And yeah, see you around.